This is the Bwine drone.
Please don't let me lose this drone. Dude, downtown looks so cool from this angle.
That was the Bwine drone. Bwine. It's a 4K drone available on Amazon right now for under $400. And in today's video, we're gonna be setting it up, we're gonna be testing it out, and then I'm gonna be doing a final review on whether or not you should buy this drone, and whether or not it's even worth its price. Good deal, bad deal, I don't know, let's go find out. Huge shout out to Bwine for sending me this to check out. Now, this is the case that it comes in, and this is what comes inside. You got the controller, you've got the drone, and then you've got 2 batteries. And then up here in this little zipper compartment, you've got the flight guide, the user manual, and then a bunch of cords depending on what phone you're using so that you can connect to the controller. So as far as setup goes, it's supposed to be pretty easy. Let's see. First, we're gonna unfold the drone, then we're gonna pop the battery in the back, then we're gonna take out the controller. Down here, you've got the little sticks. We'll screw them in. Good to go. Then you're gonna wanna pull out all of your cords. Depending on the phone that you have and the connection, you're gonna wanna choose between one of these 3 cords. For me, I've got an iPhone 15, so I'm gonna need the USB-C to USB-C. Now I'm gonna have to switch to my GoPro really quick because I just realized that I'm gonna need my phone for this controller. So let's do that. Okay, so I've been sitting here for like 30 minutes trying to figure out how to connect this drone because it wouldn't show up in the app. And I realized that I downloaded the wrong app. I downloaded the Bwine app, but apparently I needed the Bwine Mini app. Just in case you don't want to sit in a park for 30 minutes trying to film a video or using your drone, make sure to download the correct app.
So I figured it out.
All right, so first things first, let me just take you through the app super quick. We're not gonna do like a whole deep app dive in. I just wanted to show you a few things. You're obviously gonna see this screen, which shows you what your camera sees. The Bwine itself does have a gyro on it, which is awesome because that means we're gonna have a way more stabilized picture once we get up into the air. Now, inside the app, everything is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, there's almost no setup. You just approve all of the permissions and then you'll get to the screen that I'm on. One thing I am gonna show you though really quick before we go fly is inside of settings, you can either toggle on or off beginner mode. Beginner mode is basically just gonna make it so that it can't fly too far away from you. But I've flown other drones that have this exact same app. I think they just kind of recycled this app for a bunch of different companies. So I'm just gonna toggle off beginner and I'm gonna leave the flight distance at 10,000 feet. I'm also going to put the flight altitude all the way up and then return altitude. I am also going to put it max. Now we're also going to record in 4K because I want this video to be super clear. And also I'm gonna take a few photos, so I'm gonna leave that at 5700 by 3200. All right, enough with the app. You can jump into it whenever you get this drone and check out more. There's a bunch to do in here, but I wanna see how this flies and I wanna get it up in the air and see how the video quality is. Because to me, that's the most important part about getting any drone. So for the first test, I don't want to fly this out over the water because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose it. So I'm gonna do a test right here, just in this dirt area. There are trees, which is a pretty bad idea, but I'm gonna fly it pretty low. And I just wanna kind of see what the handling's like. So we're gonna wait 20 to 30 seconds for it to connect. All right, GPS signal is connected. We're good to take off. All right, and then we're just gonna press the up button. All right, so slide to start motors, and then we're just gonna hit take off. So far, pretty easy to handle. It's definitely a little bit more weighted than some of the other drones I've done on my channel, so that makes it a lot easier to fly and to control. But you still want to be careful of the wind, because as you can see, it's drifting and I'm not doing anything. So there is a lot of trees around here. I'm gonna let it land and we're gonna test that out really quick. So you're just gonna press this button and it should land right where it took off. I was gonna say approximately, but it's actually landed exactly where it's supposed to. Okay, so first test is out of the way, but now is the ultimate test because I'm gonna go to a more open area. I'm gonna fly this thing way up into the sky. We're gonna look at downtown Austin and then we're gonna hope that this thing flies back to me and doesn't get lost. Because if it does, I'm gonna have a very different ending to this video. Let's do it. All right, here goes the ultimate test. Furthest I have ever flown a drone in my life of flying drones. Please don't let me lose this drone. Here we go. It is way up there. Alright, so for our last test, we're not only going to be testing it over the water, but we're also going to be testing the camera going down and up because I didn't really do that in the last shot. Let's send it out over the lake. We are perfectly over Lady Bird Lake now. Let's look down. There is the water right below us. Looks pretty gross. A lot of bodies are found in here. We have a supposed serial killer here in Austin, if you haven't heard. Almost exactly where it took off, only off by a couple feet. Very impressive. So is this drone worth it? Well, let's talk about it. I'm gonna run you through some of the pros and the cons that I found while using this drone. We'll start with the pros because I like to be positive first. So pro number one is it is super easy to set up and handle for beginners. Pro number two is it's got a very good GPS connection. I could fly this thing anywhere as far away from me as I possibly could, and it would always return back home. Pro number three is kind of a pro, but it's gonna show up in my cons as well. But I'm gonna throw it in the pros first, which is video quality and photo quality. So as far as the video quality goes, I was able to get pretty clear video shots. And on the photo side, they came out really, really good. The only time that I saw any issues with the photos that it took was if you're pointed anywhere near the sun, which kind of drowned out the color, but that's gonna happen with most cameras. Next pro on my list was not a pro that I saw on Reddit or anywhere else about this drone, but I felt like it was a pro for me, which was the battery life. Now, this too is going to show up in my con section, but for this part of the battery life, as far as how long it lasts, mine was able to last 15 to 20 minutes per battery, which I think is pretty good. And then my last pro for this is that at this price point, just under $400, you're really, really hoping that you're gonna get a gimbal on this drone, but you don't always, and for this one, you do get a gimbal, even though I accidentally called it a gyro. I don't know what I was thinking earlier on in the video. But the last pro on my list is that it does have a gimbal. Now, moving over to the cons. Con number one, which I told you I would get back to, is also the video quality. While I did get some pretty good video out of it, I don't necessarily think that this is the best video you're going to get out of other drones in this same category and price range. And although its gimbal did work pretty well when the wind started to die down, when the wind was going, some of that footage was a little choppy. Not too bad, but not perfect either. And my second con for this drone is really just how long it takes to charge the batteries. From being near dead, the battery took about 4.5 hours for me to charge. However, I'm gonna be a little sneaky here and I'm gonna sneak in a pro tip here. Because when Bwine sent me this, they also sent me this universal travel charger, which ended up basically cutting the battery charging in half of how long it took to charge it. So if you're going to get this drone, or you're not gonna get this drone and you just wanna charge things really fast, I highly recommend the universal travel charger set. Now, having said that, they are not paying me for any of this. They just sent me the stuff, so I'm just giving you my honest opinion. With all that said and done, the price point is a little bit below $400, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. So if this seems like the right drone for you, I'll leave a link down in the description below. And with all that said and done, I want to give a huge shout out to Bwine for sending me this drone to try out and letting me just give my honest opinion on it. And if you liked this video and you'd like to support all of the things that I do on this channel, which is tech and adventure and everything in between, the first thing you can do is hit that subscribe button, because that really helps, and share this video with your friends and like this video. You know, all the stupid stuff that YouTubers usually say. The other way that you can support my channel is by clicking the thanks button down here right below the video, because most of the money that is donated through that button all goes back into making videos like this for you. And lastly, if you'd like to support me, I've got a bunch of links down in the description below. A Patreon, I've got my sci-fi book that I wrote, and I've just got a bunch of other projects over on my website. All of that stuff is linked down below. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna throw a video right up here of something that YouTube thinks that you are gonna be very into watching. I'm Eric, this is Eric's Tech World, where tech and adventure meet. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.